Yeah, I've been trying to rope you in for quite a while with this, because how long has it been now since we've been speaking?
Maybe a couple of months, do you reckon?
Yeah, probably 6 weeks, 8 weeks,
Yeah,
something
like that.
And we've started working together now, which is great. And some of the plans with you guys has been amazing. And the reason why I wanted to nail you down on the podcast is because a lot of people that I do have on this podcast have businesses where, in the nicest possible way, the subject matter can be deemed boring, actually. And mine as well. Some people just find my content really boring. But it's actually not boring.
No,
because the people in the business aren't boring. And I think having that, like, what's the word? Like, getting to know people is absolutely the best way to sort of showcase what you're actually doing, your brand and all that good stuff. So if someone actually does need you, they're going to hire someone. If someone's got a problem, they're going to hire someone, aren't they?
People buy from people.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah,
100%. So I always say if there's like 20 social media companies in a row, what's going to make them buy our social media company? And it's always me.
Relationships.
It's actually me.
Yeah.
So, is this your first ever podcast?
First ever podcast.
Okay. So for anyone in my audience who might not be aware of who you are and what you do, who are you and what do you do?
I'm Frances Mann and I'm the Relationship and Culture Director at Mann Roberts Solicitors. We're based in Liverpool and we've just recently extended into Manchester. So my job is dealing with all the external relationships really and the culture of the firm.
I love it. Love it. So what's the... I'm obsessed with this idea of ideas. I love ideas.
Me too.
Because one, it gets you thinking about the future, which is a good thing. It gets you envisioning what can be achieved. But what I noticed across a lot of people I was working with was a lot of people have great ideas, but a lot of people get caught up in the rat race of the 9 to 5 or they get caught up in maybe it's like the sister who just kind of poo-poos it and no, that's shit or something.
Yeah.
And these ideas never come to life for whatever reason. And I got me thinking that I had the notes app on my phone. I love the notes app because I just put stuff in there all the time. So I've got a rule now where if something doesn't happen within 48 hours with that idea, it goes.
It's binned.
Yeah. It's deleted.
Yeah.
Even if I'm looking at it going, I don't want to delete that because it's a good idea.
That's exactly the same as me.
I just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously not important
it's
enough
not
to take
that
action
good
on.
an idea that you're not still thinking about it.
Yeah. And what I noticed was the best ideas get action on straight away. So the gap between an idea and actually taking action on it is what makes the idea a reality. And what really got me attracted to working with you guys at the start was the first conversation we ever had. Within about 5 minutes, you were telling me about all your ideas. Now, I'm not going to say divulge all your ideas now, but in terms of
actually, do you know what? I've got no issue with sharing my ideas because I know there's another 1,000 that follows.
Well, you guys just get it. That's what's fascinating to me because when we had this conversation, I don't think for any solicitors watching this, don't take offence to this. My perception of solicitors before I worked with solicitors was kind of office jocks, pencil pushing, just kind of tedious paperwork, paperwork up to your eyeballs sort of thing. And what I realised was, it's not like that at all. It's cool. And one thing that I'm fascinated by, again, which you can talk about more, is culture. And building a culture where people feel valued and people feel like their ideas are important. So what made you have that idea originally?
Okay, so to answer the first question, it's really interesting that you sort of mentioned that. I'm non-legal side. So the marketing, the branding, all of that side of the company is sort of my domain. And so because I'm non-legal, apart from obviously the things that we have to adhere to, we can sort of have fun with it. which has been great. And like you said, I'm an ideas person, so ideas will keep me awake at night. If I still have the idea the next day, it has to be implemented. And because I work with David, I think we work really, really well together. He's really good at implementing all my ideas. It was interesting, when David left his previous firm, he sort of explained that we were going to go into business together. And someone from there said, but Frances doesn't have any legal sort of knowledge. I've got a background in law, but apart from that, I don't have any legal knowledge. But we sort of saw that as a strength to our business. And I think it actually has been having a non-legal perspective, sort of coming in and doing the marketing and branding side has worked so well so far. So yeah, pleased about that. And the second question was, remind me.
Culture, likewise.
Oh, culture is something I'm obsessed with.
So one thing like we talked about with culture was you want to be the best workplace in the Northwest.
Definitely.
That's like a goal.
It is a goal, yeah.
Like outside of soliciting, outside of anything, just generally the best workplace. That's a lofty goal.
Yeah.
And one that like compels me to go, wow, that's amazing. So what made you come to that?
I think we both sort of are people that need that positive energy around us. And so we want to work in a place that other people are happy, because then that will make us happy. And so it's as simple as that, really. We wanted to create a firm that people feel genuinely valued, that their skill, whatever they bring to the team, is genuinely appreciated, and that they're rewarded and sort of looked after. I remember someone describing it as the Sunday scaries to me. And I've had it, and David's had it before, and I think most people have experienced it when you're just dreading going to work. We spoke about this earlier, didn't we? Like you're dreading going to work the next day because there's a toxic culture. And that is something we just wanted to avoid. We wanted to make it somewhere, not exactly that you're absolutely thrilled to be going into work, because work's work, but somewhere that you feel valued and you feel appreciated.
Honest to God, like how many people sit there miserable in a job that they don't like?
I know.
That they're getting paid just enough.
I know.
That they're getting paid just enough that it's hard for them to quit. And they're just at a level where they're like, I can't risk that level of income, and they're just getting by. But in their head, they're like, I'm meant for more than this. I'm meant for more than this. Now, we live in an age now, and I'm really passionate about this, where it's not like it was 20 years ago where you had to go and sell yourself to a load of brands. Brands are coming to us.
Yeah.
We live in an age now where you can start posting for free on social media and start building your brand up. There's a soft drink called Poppy. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
A huge American brand, but they built Poppy basically entirely on social, and they've just sold to Pepsi for 1.6 billion.
Wow.
And they built that brand entirely on social. That was 20 years ago, that was unheard of.
Which means that anybody can do it, actually. If you've got
100%.
access to that technology, I mean a phone.
I mean, if you've got an idea and an iPhone, you've got no excuse really to not start doing something with that idea. Now, me and you are quite similar people. Like, we probably have about 200 ideas a day.
Yeah.
So it would be physically impossible to create 200 ideas a day, because your brain would explode.
Yeah, no, literally.
It literally would. But that one idea, like when I had the idea for the concept room, that's an idea that's come to life. When you had an idea to build.
I think you've got to be brave enough to follow through with those ideas as well.
That's a really good point. I love that word, being brave, because it takes courage and your conviction.
It does, because I think a lot of people would love to laugh at you if it goes wrong. And if you're okay with that and you can sort of shrug it off and go, at least I tried, at least I had a go.
Yeah.
And I like aligning myself with people that are brave enough to have a go.
I love that. So good. It's so good. Talk about aligning yourself with people. I met Paul Sculthorpe the last couple of weeks. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Paul is the former Great Britain Rugby League captain, former St Helens captain. formerly hard man, now super nice guy.
Yeah.
Tell us the story about how that came to be.
He met David through like a corporate golf do.
Yeah.
They just got on really well, hit it off, and then quite soon after, the three of us had a meeting and just knew our values aligned. He's just the nicest guy. I haven't got enough words to describe how nice he is. He's just a lovely guy.
I've met him twice now, and he's been a top bloke with me.
When you reach that sort of pinnacle of your career, to be the best at something, and you're still that humble and that lovely, you just
100%.
He's ace.
Unreal, isn't it? Now, one of the guys in our jiu-jitsu gym was telling me a story. Now, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world is a guy called Roger Gracie. And this guy I won't name any names, he was in the gym and he went to this Roger Gracie seminar, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world. And he got to meet Roger Gracie, and he was basically said he was like quite a novice at the time, and he basically took it upon himself to tell Roger Gracie about his jiu-jitsu. So he was basically a beginner against this like world-class like 28 black belts or something, and he was quite naive to it, right? Like we've all been there, and Roger Gracie was probably thinking, I literally don't care. But now he's a bit more experienced. He wouldn't, if he went to a Roger Gracie seminar again, he literally said this to me, he would just listen, and just absorb all the knowledge he could. And it was a funny story, I don't know if you mind saying this, about David and Paul.
Oh, he will kill me for saying this. So yeah, they met on this golf day. He's going to kill me. They met on this golf day, and Scully has never mentioned this, by the way, which says just so much about him anyway. They met on this. Yeah, you have. I'm gonna be slaughtered for this. Anyway, so met on this golf day, and David and Scully got sort of partnered together and were in the same team.
Oh yeah, I actually done a piece of constance on this, and they were in the same four ball.
That was it, yeah. I don't know that much about golf, to be honest.
So four ball, I think, to the best of my knowledge, the four ball is where a team of four.
Oh my God, there were other people there.
I don't actually know. The four ball is essentially is like you're having a partner, then you have to like it's like the best of four, and you get like a half.
But potentially, even more embarrassingly, there were other people around. So Scully and Dave were having a chat, and Dave said he recognised him, but couldn't quite, and because you meet so many people through events and stuff, he just didn't sort of recognised him, but couldn't put his finger on couldn't place where he knew him from. And so he said, "What do you do with yourself?" And Scully said, "Oh, played a bit of rugby, you know." And Dave said, I played a little bit of rugby when I was in school. And he said the day Scully never said a word. And then he said they continued with their game of golf, carried on, and he said he knew something was just eating at him. He said, so he Googled it, and he realised who Scully was, and he said he wanted to die. He still cringes now thinking about it, just how embarrassing that he was trying to sort of align his rugby days with Scully's.
Do you know what? I love stories like that. It's so funny. But with that comes a really valid point for, like, I think business owners and people like us, is like the power of like the network, right? Like whether it's a golf day or whether it's like David's gone on a golf day there and he's basically met the former Great Britain Rugby League captain.
I know, it's amazing.
That is the power of networking. Where on else could that happen?
I know.
Like, you're never randomly going to bump into the Great Britain Rugby League captain on the street, like, and just be like, oh yeah, can you come be a brand ambassador for the business? The power of that day has led to this level of impact in your business.
Yeah.
And we talk about plans about the future and what you can do like going forward, and how exciting it is. Without that just little networking tidbit and that little story, which we can laugh at now, that little interaction has led to an absolutely it's intangible how big that impact can be.
Amazing partnership for us. Yeah.
I mean, if you had to like put that in a spreadsheet, you couldn't put that in a spreadsheet.
And actually, I believe in like taking those opportunities. You know, we could have turned down that opportunity to go to that networking event, but we didn't. We went, and we we are very open-minded about that sort of thing, about getting to events, about building those relationships. We're very lucky now that we've got a team that are sort of doing the legal work, and we've got an amazing head of Liverpool now, Carl, who is just running the team so well. We've got an outstanding team. So our role has sort of changed to a certain extent, and it is just relationships, and building the firm.
One thing as well that we've talked about and I think is really sort of cool concept is, when you think about Liverpool, what do you think of?
Oh, so much. I absolutely, I'm obsessed with the city.
Well, the Live Birds, right?
And obviously, the Live Birds. I see where you're going with this, yeah.
So, in the content that I've done so far, which you're going to be seeing spread across, or by the time this goes out, you probably will have seen it spread across Mann Roberts' social media. One thing I really wanted to capture was the Live Birds. And the shots that I've got, and like the footage that I put in there. There's a lot where it's like the Live building, because with the expansion out to Manchester, there's this concept that you've got called the birds and the bees.
Yeah. I can't actually, do you know what? I can't take credit for that idea. That was one of Dave's. And then he sort of went off it a bit, and I just said, we've got to have that. And actually our roles switched. I implemented
I think there's so much synergy between, I know that it's like, in sporting terms, there's quite a rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester. But in like
business terms, I think we should be doing more together.
Synergistic terms, why on earth wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, the two powerhouses of the North, like pretty much, and them working together
it was a no-brainer for us.
Absolute no-brainer, yeah. And that's why I was like, when you said it, it was like a little penny drop for me. I was like, wow, didn't even think of that. But when I'm more to think about it, it's like, it's only half an hour up the road.
Yeah.
It's not like...
I just found that we were going to loads and loads of like networking events and stuff in Manchester.
So when you started out, was that like an original idea to go to Manchester?
The plan has always been to have specialist firms doing commercial litigation specifically, dotted around England and Wales. That is the plan moving forward. So Manchester, just because we had so many connections there, we had clients there, and I was seeing a lot of sort of crossover and referrals and stuff, and I thought it's got to be the next place. Actually, we did have another location, which I won't say now, in mind, but Manchester was just the obvious place.
Absolutely, yeah. And who knows? Like, I mean, from what you've been talking about to me, I mean, there's a never-ending amount of opportunity there, I think.
I think so.
If it can work in Liverpool and it can work in Manchester, it can work literally anywhere.
What we're doing, talk about ideas and stuff, Steve. Like I said, I'm happy to share our plan moving forward. It's not rocket science. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. What we've done in Liverpool is going to be the blueprint for wherever we go now, wherever we set up. We've done it really well. It's getting solicitors and getting really good clients and putting them together, offering a really great service, and looking after our colleagues. That's it. It's nothing more complicated than that, and just replicating that, keeping them small teams so that we can really focus on the culture of the firm.
So good.
And the service.
So good. So good. And exciting. In terms of like shorter term, expanding out to Manchester, like what does that look like shorter term?
Shorter term, we're going to be there a lot more. Well, we've got potentially a couple of people coming to join us. David will be heading it and really driving it. I will be building more. I'm building and sort of nurturing the relationships we already have there, and just focusing more on that area. Obviously, then it's down to an issue of recruitment, getting an amazing team in Manchester and building a really quality team.
To become the best place to work.
To become the best place to work.
Now, as I said, I'm obsessed with this idea of ideas.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm asking people, like, what's your big idea?
Yeah, I love that.
Now, there's a couple that you, like a couple of mic drops actually that you've said to me. One is the birds and the bees, which you just touched on. But for when it matters, where did that come from?
So again, I can't take credit for that. That was David again, and we just rolled with it. What we do was so specialist. So I don't want to the message of for when it matters is for when it matters. Don't come to us if you've got a bit of a, you've tripped over in Tesco or you need a will right. That's not us. It's for your big commercial disputes. That's when you come to us. That's what we're experts in. We do it day in, day out. Things like shareholder disputes, that's our bread and butter.
Yeah. What do you think that, just diving into that a little bit without going into any specifics, where do shareholder disputes come from? Because like where we are in the business now, like we're in a period of growth, looking at building a team, and I want to be fair and give people pieces of the pie as well. So when that happens, like, where does that come from? Is it just like people getting too greedy? Is it people being entitled to things?
It can be. It can. Most of the ones that we deal with are family shareholder disputes, which is sad, but it's just the way it is. So there's always a lot of emotion attached. So we're used to dealing with the psychology side of that, but they usually come from, it can be from anything, just a minor sort of disagreement or to a much bigger sort of issue with the way that the company's being run.
Yeah, I understand
and people having different ideas.
So good. Do you know what? Like, it's so good that you're such like a super. It's like a hyper specific niche almost that.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Well, we did when we first started. We were thinking of maybe going fully serviced, meaning we'd have a family department, and actually we have decided, which very quickly actually, to just keep it very specialist.
I love all that.
It keeps the messaging consistent. I think when you do something again and again and again, you become better at it. There's that consistency as well.
I love that. Yeah, fucking hell, yeah. Like, does that make your job easier, actually?
It's definitely from a marketing point of view, yeah. There's no, it gets back to messaging, isn't it? There's no mixed messaging there. This is what we do. We're really good at it, and we know exactly who we're sort of focused on, where our market is.
That is cool. That is cool. Frances, I'll put you on the spot here.
Oh, God.
If me and you were sitting here in, let's say, 2 years' time, and we have the same conversation, what would you like to be telling me?
I'd like to be telling you that we'd expanded. We had at least another couple of offices. I'd like to be telling you that we've still got all of the colleagues that are with us now have stayed with us. That would be amazing. That they're happy, that they're enjoying the work, that we're working with fantastic companies and clients, and that we're still growing. That's what I think I'd like to be saying.
That is a brilliant vision. That is a brilliant vision. Thank you so much. If there is anyone who might watch this, who might be interested in connecting with you, networking with you, coming into your business as a client, where's the best place for them to find you or get in touch with you?
They can go onto our website, www.mannroberts.com, or they can find me on LinkedIn. It's Frances Mann.
I'm going to put all the links to, like you just said, and more, Instagram, everywhere we're going to start posting. I suppose one thing just to cap this off for me is I'm in a really, really lucky position at the moment where I'm going to be helping you guys showcase the brand, build a social footprints, make some amazing content around the initiatives that you got going on, the mission, vision, and document the whole journey to that point. And I'm really, really excited about that. So I don't take that for granted. And thank you for that.
No, likewise, when we met, I knew straight away we'd be able to work with each other.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's all the ideas, I suppose,
Yeah.
bouncing off each other.
100%.
And your energy is great, and we are absolutely delighted to be working with you.
Love all that, love all that. Well, I'm going to put all the links to
Cheers,
all the
Steve.
socials, all the LinkedIn, the websites, everything when we publish this podcast. You're going to see loads of this content flying out across everywhere anyway. I'm going to make sure of it.
I'm going to be sick of it.
And yeah, connect, even if it's not for when it matters right now, definitely connect, because at some point it will matter.
Yeah. And that's when you call us.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's worth just having that relationship, because I've made some really good friends out of it as well, so happy days.
Definitely.
We're done.
Cheers, Steve.